Hello, everyone. I'm Colin Tessier of WrestleZone.com, here for the Recap of Honor podcast to break down a very exciting, very chaotic episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling this Monday night. Last week, they announced that the main event would be LFI versus Violence Unlimited, and I knew this one would be a lot of fun, and it even exceeded my expectations. I'm looking forward to definitely talking all about it. Before I do, I want to remind you all that this show, like everything we do here at WrestleZone, is available on any number of streaming platforms, whether it's SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, whatever it may be. We've got you covered. So please leave a like, subscribe. We definitely appreciate it. So this week, we're going to see the in-ring debut of Violence Unlimited, Ring of Honor's newest stable that showed up at the end of the 19th anniversary pay-per-view. Now, of course, we know we've got LFI, we've got the Foundation. Now we've got Violence Unlimited in there as well. Three very powerful, very dynamic stables. And you know, for months on this show, I've been talking about how much I've been enjoying the battle between LFI and the Foundation. Now we've got this third party in there, and this week, it exceeded my wildest dreams. You know, exciting where. You know, you've got the Foundation, you've got LFI, you've got Violence Limited, and the match was between Violence Limited and LFI because Violence Limited attacked LFI specifically at the end of that pay-per-view. But after the Brody King attacked Roosh, or I should say La Bestia with a chair, the referee called off the match via disqualification. And I thought that was a little bit of turnabout as fair play because, of course, we've seen LFI use chairs and any number of underhanded tactics throughout their run in Ring of Honor. So, you know, Violence Unlimited, their whole you know, philosophy here is that we're not going to, you know, worry about pure wrestling or honor or respect. We're going to worry about violence. And I like that kind of that ideology difference. I think it's really interesting to see how it's playing out. So as the two stables really were brawling there, it was absolutely chaotic. We've seen that we've seen that with LFI before, but then the Foundation came down. So it was a three-way brawl to end the show. I thought it was really exciting. And like just the kind of a little old school, like, oh, they're fighting and we can't control them. Then the show just kind of went off. Next week, the next chapter of this stable war will continue. Will feature, I should say, a Ring of Honor World Television Championship match between the champion Tracy Williams and Tony Deppen. And I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Those two guys. At least if you strip away the Violence Unlimited ideology there, Tony Deppen, like a very, you know, we saw him. He was in the pure championship tournament, and he's been in some pure matches as well, I believe, throughout his short run in Ring of Honor so far. But now he's kind of really leaning into this violent side, and of course, he's definitely known for his hardcore wrestling as well. So that'll definitely be an interesting clash of styles with Tracy Williams next week, one of the very best wrestlers on the Ring of Honor roster. Now, of course, Tracy Williams won that title at the 19th anniversary pay-per-view when Dragon Lee was unable to go. He faced Kenny King instead, and he was able to beat Kenny King. And that's something that Kenny King talked about tonight before the match. He said, "Hey, you know, Dragon Lee wasn't there at 19th anniversary pay-per-view. We weren't prepared, and that's the reason why the Foundation won both the television title and the tag titles. So definitely a natural excuse there, a natural you know, kind of continuation of that feud, and that's something that I kind of predicted when it happened. I thought this would be the case, and so, you know, even though Deppen's getting that title shot next week, I would definitely expect to see LFI challenge for the gold sooner rather than later. But I thought this was very fun. I should point out, Violence Limited has Brody King and Tony Deppen, two guys, Brody King especially, you know, kind of a Ring of Honor mainstay. Deppen, a relative newcomer, but definitely he's someone that had been around. And two, I mean, one returning star, Homicide, a former world champion in Ring of Honor, and also Chris Dickinson, a very versatile, well-traveled, experienced wrestler on the independent scene. He's finally in Ring of Honor. I've been hoping to see him in Ring of Honor for quite some time. Now he's here, and I'm just very excited to see what this group can do. They looked great. It's a very nice, like, blend of styles where it's, you know, they are all about the violence here, but Brody King, you know, he can definitely go in the ring. Chris Dickinson as well. Homicide, you know, again, former world champion. As a side note, he appeared on the Ring of Honor, the ROH Strong podcast this week to kind of talk about his return, talk about his kind of goals here. He was, you know, a Ring of Honor OG. That's the way that Tony Deppen described him, and now he's back in Ring of Honor. You know, and if you think about it, he was, I think, on the podcast they said that he was there literally the first show back in 2002. Now it's 2021. So it's just crazy to think about, like an OG like that, if you will, back in Ring of Honor now, and just how much has changed. It's this new era. It's very exciting. So I think that is really cool to have him in this stable to add legitimacy, name value, I guess, even though it doesn't really need it in that sense. We've got Brody King, Chris Dickinson, but Homicide again. I'm going to keep hyping up his resume. Former world champion. That definitely makes him more legitimate when you've got LFI, which has Roosh, the current world champion, and the Foundation with Jay Lethal, a former world champion as well. All three stables have got at the very least world champion caliber guys, and so that's one reason why this has been so exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this plays out. It's been a lot of fun so far, and this is really the first time we've seen Violence Limited on Ring of Honor television. They've been on week by week. We've seen them on the social media channels as well with some of their promos and stuff like that. But this is the first time that I can recall they've been on the main show. And so we're just getting started here. I would hope to be that is the case. There's a lot they can really do here, and I thought kind of 19th anniversary was, if not necessarily the end. Well, I will say it was the end of the one chapter of the stable war and the beginning of another one, because now it is this three-way struggle for power, where at this point you've got LFI and the Foundation pretty much having all of the gold collectively in Ring of Honor. Now Violence Unlimited is there, also trying to win the gold. So when we see Trace Williams defend that title next week, Tony Deppin's going to be looking to bring the first title to the Violence Unlimited stable, and maybe he can do it. Maybe he can, maybe he can't, but it will definitely be a good test for Tony Deppin for the legitimacy, I guess, again, for lack of a better word, of Violence Unlimited. I'm very much looking forward to that. I definitely enjoy, even in a vacuum, I definitely enjoy Trace Williams and Tony Deppin. And now I'm looking forward to see, are we going to get another chaotic brawl next week? Are we going to get, who's going to start to kind of emerge with the upper hand here? I think that's a very chaotic, dynamic situation here that's going on, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. So I enjoyed this a lot. This is a fun, chaotic, crazy way to end the show with this wild brawl. Especially featuring the Ring of Honor official debut of Chris Dickinson and the in-ring return of Homicide. It was great main event. Now, in the first match, we saw a clash of two blue chip prospects, two guys that I really think are going places in Ring of Honor. It was Dak Draper and Eli Isom, two guys probably at the very top of the television championship rankings. Draper's he had been in the Pure division, now he's in the TV division. Isom, he was gone for a while, now he's back, and he's been on a roll. So this is a good way to kind of see which one of these two guys could potentially kind of climb the ladder even more, potentially get a TV title shot. Unfortunately, they fought to a time limit draw. It was a very competitive match. Both guys look great. Dak Draper, I do want to say, as a sidebar for this, myself and Bill Pritchard interviewed Dak Draper recently before this match, and he talked about his transition to the TV title division. He talked about his goals in Ring of Honor, how he's grown since last year throughout the pandemic and everything. Definitely, I really enjoyed that interview, getting to hear his mindset surrounding this move, surrounding his continuing journey in Ring of Honor. I recommend that enough. Please do check it out. Definitely a great interview, and we definitely thank Dak for giving us his time like that ahead of this match. And for me, that added even more kind of context for this, being able to know that or hear that that's where Dak Draper's head is at for this shift to the TV division, and for Eli Isom. Again, both guys blue chip prospects, but both really do seem like, and Dak even said it in our interview. He said he and Isom are both guys that it does feel like they're at the very beginning of where they could possibly go in Ring of Honor, and this was a big test for both of them in that sense. And they fought to a time limit draw. Nobody won, nobody lost. It was a draw. Eli Isom begged the referee for more time, and he agreed to it. But then Dalton Castle came out. And this was definitely a bit of a trip down memory lane. If you remember, Dalton Castle used to come to the ring with the boys, the guys formerly known as the Tate twins, or Brandon and Brent Tate. They'd be dancing, and he would use them as kind of like a bridge and everything. And he had kind of abandoned that a while ago, and now he brought that back with different dancers, and he came out in a pink suit and sparkly blue shoes, and they were dancing around. And then Dalton Castle came into the ring and kind of stopped the continuation of the match, and he said, hey, we're all concerned about, or most of you all are concerned about pure wrestling here, but this is the TV show. We got to make it entertaining. We got to add some dazzle, some excitement, some drama, and that's what Dalton Castle's all about. For a second, it looked like he was potentially aligning himself with both Isom and Draper, but then he kicked Isom below the belt, saying, I don't like what I see in you, even though he acknowledged they both had a lot of potential. And so then for a split second, I thought he was going to align himself with Dak Draper, and I thought, oh, this is great. This is a great way to really give Dak Draper, this, association with this major star, former world champion in Dalton Castle. Instead, Dalton Castle turned around and kicked Dak Draper below the belt as well. Left them both lying, and then he said, "I got to go. I'm busy." So this was kind of like the main event. This where we got that chaotic brawl. This was kind of the opening chapter in this story, or at least in I should say, whatever Dalton has planned now. I talked about before, it was unclear if he was going to be staying in Ring of Honor. He resigned, and so clearly he is sticking around, and now he's got a goal to add some flair, some drama, some dazzle, or whatever you want to say, to Ring of Honor. I'm very excited for this. I talked about it before. I'm very excited and happy that Dalton Castle is sticking around. I think he adds a lot to the company and the show, and I'm very much looking forward to see what he does in Ring of Honor now that he is sticking around, and now he's got this kind of new direction for himself. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what happens with this. So, both this was kind of a great example of a show where, like, both. I mean, usually Ring of Honor has two matches. In this case, both matches really left me kind of wanting more, in the sense of, like, we got this Dalton Castle thing, and we got the stable warfare in the main event, and I left the show very much saying, wow, I can't wait to see what happens next. And more often than not, that's how I feel with Ring of Honor. So definitely a solid show tonight. And just real quick, looking at this kind of general notes here, we saw at the 19th anniversary pay-per-view, Maria Kanellis-Bennett announced the women's tournament. The women's championship tournament will be happening this summer. First, last week, Ring of Honor announced that starting this Wednesday, Ring of Honor will be having Women's Division Wednesday on the YouTube channel to showcase women that could potentially be in that tournament later this summer. It's unclear who might be in that tournament, who might be in those matches, but this is definitely great for the women's division, something that I know a lot of fans, myself included, have been really lobbying for quite some time. Now we know that the women's division will be getting a lot of focus, will be getting more relevance than it has been for quite a while now. Again, through no fault of Ring of Honor necessarily, with the pandemic, with any number of other external circumstances. This is fine. It's worked out this way so that it's time for the women's division to kind of step back into the spotlight here, and I'm very, very, very much excited for that. One of the first big matches we will see, I said we don't know who will be in that tournament, but at 19th anniversary, Angelina Love confronted Maria Kanellis-Bennett and basically got herself in a situation where she will be facing Ring of Honor host or interviewer Quinn McKay, the host of Ring of Honor Wrestling. Those two will face off. If you remember, Angelina Love attacked Quinn McKay with the Allure as a kind of a group attack, I guess. Her and Mandy Leon is Love's partner. They attacked Quinn McKay several months ago. Now we're seeing this kind of come to the forefront here, where Angelina Love will be facing Quinn McKay in a high-profile match for the women's division. If Angelina Love wins, she will earn a bye in the women's tournament. That will be on the weekend of May 8th. So I think that is 2 weeks from now. So that will definitely be a match to look out for. And also on that show, we will see the Briscoes face EC3 and Flip Gordon, at least at this point. EC3 has been battling an infection recently, so I'm not... the match is seemingly still on at this juncture, but that very well might change. I'm not sure. I honestly do not know. I'm just saying that is something that to keep an eye on. And if the match is still on, if it does happen, obviously that's very exciting. We've seen the feud between Jay Briscoe and EC3. We've seen the Briscoe struggle to stay on the same page recently, so that does sound like a very dynamic situation. I'm looking forward to that as well. So lots of good stuff happening in Ivana. I'm very much excited about it. As I said, we Dak Draper, Eli Isom, two blue chip guys, definitely going places. We got to see them have a very competitive, very exciting match tonight. That was interrupted, I guess, by Dalton Castle. And again, I've said it before, he's one of my favorites in Ring of Honor. Now he's got this new direction. He's sticking around, so I'm excited to see what the plan for him is. Like, I mean, in reality, if he wasn't satisfied with, or maybe I'm speculating, I don't know, but I would imagine if he wasn't really happy, or if he wasn't satisfied with the potential direction he was going in, he would have left. But instead, he's sticking around, and I'm very happy to see that he is. So I'm excited to see where he goes from here. And then the main event, I'm a sucker for some good stable warfare, and we got it. Now it's this three-way struggle for power between the LFI, Valiance Limited, and the Foundation. I'm very excited for it. So I can't recommend that watching this show enough every single week. This was a great episode, and I know I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you did as well. I've enjoyed this show, and like I said at the start of the show, like everything we do here at WrestleZone, is available on any number of streaming platforms. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe. I'll be back here if you're watching live a little later tonight for the Raw post show of John Clark. On Tuesdays, John and I do the NXT post show, and then the Dynamite Dudes of Attitude cover AEW. We also do some fantasy book with WCW will be written. That's also the D'Angelo brothers who are doing AEW coverage. And then on Fridays, Robert DeFelice and I do the SmackDown Double Down for SmackDown. And we've also got lots of great interviews coming at you guys. So make sure to to keep an eye on the stream to see all the great things we're doing for you guys, and keep doing our best to help you guys enjoy wrestling the way that we do. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe. We definitely appreciate you and your support. As always, I thank you for listening. And remember, above all else, we do one thing above all others, and that is to enjoy wrestling. Thank you very much, everybody.